be able to watch the recording. So let's get the camera rolling. How do I know if it's, oh, we're recording. Okay, awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. We just lost Shangdong, so I think it's we just have Carolee. Welcome, Carolee, and everyone. This is the first many calls that we were going to be hosting in the next couple of weeks and months as we try to reactivate, or as we reactivate our community events. So as I'll first introduce myself. I'm William Kuvijir. I'm the head of community at Docker, and Mariama, Rachel, and Ajit are, we're forming, I would say, kind of the Fantastic Four. Ajit and I are from Docker, Mariama and Rachel from Bevy. We've been working as a team for the past couple of weeks to plan what we will be presenting as our 100-day activation plan. So just to give you a little bit of context, we're more than a year into the pandemic, and of course, this has been quite disruptive for our community events strategy. And as you all know, Docker has prided itself in having a vibrant community around the world with hundreds of events every month, small and big, workshops, conferences, webinars. And yeah, so COVID has really affected us greatly, and affected all organizations like Docker, with who depend on a community to push their mission and projects forward. So the past couple of months, we've been trying to think of how we can adapt to this new reality, and pivot in a direction that can empower the Docker community, and empower Docker community leaders in particular to continue to run events, albeit in a virtual format. So we've done a lot of research. We've conducted surveys to understand the needs and the aspirations, and the challenges that the community has encountered over the past year. And we've tried to integrate all this in a as we in a new strategy to engage and to empower the community, and to reactivate our community events. So we've been very busy. As you know, Docker's community team is very, very small. You're looking at it, and we've been also very, very busy with so many other projects. There's a big conference on the horizon called DockerCon, which I hope you're all registered for. So that's been taking a lot of time. But yes, we've definitely been working on this strategy, on this reactivation plan that I briefly outlined in that email that I sent to everyone. So with that, I wanted to hand over the virtual microphone to Rachel York. So Rachel, and I'll just repeat it, Rachel and Mariama are working for Bevy. Docker is partnering and collaborating with Bevy. Bevy is a leading community building platform. And so we've been working in lockstep, very, very closely together to elaborate, to articulate this plan that Rachel will walk you through. So Rachel.
Hi, y'all. So I'm Rachel, and part of my goal is to help get events back on the calendar, right? That's the bottom line. What can I do to help? So you're in Bevy Virtual today. Welcome to Bevy Virtual if you've never been here before. And our goal is to give you all the tools you need to run your events all in one place. So your mailing list, your emails, your events even now are going to be browser-based. You're going to have everything all in one spot as part of this reactivation plan. We went back through, we looked at the existing groups. We looked at the groups on Meetup. We looked at the groups on Bevy. We looked at the health status just overall of how things were going. And part of this plan is to consolidate the tools we're using, get everybody on the same stuff, and make your lives easier, make your lives as easy as they can be, to start kicking back off. So over the next 100 days, you're going to see a lot of me, you're going to see a lot of Mariama, you're going to see a lot of William, you're going to see a lot of Ajit, and we're going to go through pretty much twice a week. And we're going to have this conversation over and over and over again until we get all of the community leaders updated, let them know what's going on. And we're also going to be running training for Bevy, so that you guys can get familiar with the tools if you haven't used them yet. Just quick, hand up in the chat if anybody in here has used the Bevy platform, because y'all have had access to it since probably 2019. And it might just be a tool in your toolbox that you haven't actually accessed yet. So that's part of the fun. We'll teach you how to use it and get those things excited. So at the end of the 100 days, so starting today is day 1, we will cover down. William's going to continue with this update and let us know sort of the rest of the story. Tomorrow, Miriam is going to put it in chat for you. We start Bevy training. And at the end of the 100 days, we're going to show you how much progress we've made. And we're going to show you that we got everybody retrained and we got everybody re-excited and we got more events on the calendar. And as we go into DockerCon, we're committed to community events reactivation in the same way, right? This is our whole goal. And there's your link in the chat. So make sure you sign up for that one. Thank you all for signing up and answering the very first email. This is going to be officially the OG crew. Like, this is the crew who showed up on day 1 for the reactivation. So thank you for being here. That's all I got. William, I'm going to hand it back.
This is the first event.
This is the first event. So yay.
Okay.
William, you missed your mute button.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, I just made a joke. It's the first of maybe hundreds of events or hopefully hundreds of events we're going to be doing in the next couple of months. So just to build on what Rachel just said, so, we will be organizing a training around Bevy virtual tool. This is going to be a central tool, part of the activation plan. But I also wanted to speak a bit about resources that we've been working hard to make available for the community as part of this activation plan. So it's not only, of course, Bevy Virtual, a tool to connect easily, via your web browser. That's going to be central, but we can't really have events if we don't have any content or if we don't have any kind of resources or, interesting topics to present or interesting speakers to invite to speak. So Ajit and I have been working tirelessly for the past, especially Ajit, for the past couple of months to build a resource that we've communicated on, but not so much yet because it's still kind of in beta or maybe even alpha, but it's the Get Involved website, Get Involved with Docker website that hopefully you've heard of. And so this is basically a resource that we've created for the community, particularly community leaders and captains, where you'll find different resources that will make it easier and to organize an event and make your events as impactful as possible. And these resources include handbooks, speaker directory, various other tools to make it easy to connect with Docker engineers, find templates, presentation templates, topics, etc. So since we have a little bit of time, I wanted to ask Ajit if he wanted to, if you can maybe walk us through the Get Involved website and walk us through maybe just the main sections. And we'll be going over this website many times in the next months. So it's a work in progress, but I thought it would be interesting to have a sneak peek at it for our kickoff call. Ajit, do you want to walk us through a few minutes?
Yeah, sure. So can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, thanks to all the community leaders for joining us today. And definitely one of the things which was, missing out for a long time, since a long time was, bringing back and reactivating the community leaders program. And I do see I have been monitoring it since last like 1.5 year, where I do see there are few of the things which are missing out, especially how shall I start contributing in terms of community leaders? Where should I start? The documentation where I can go ahead and do the joint meetup with other community members, those kind of things. And then last December, I was talking to William and I was thinking like, okay, let's go ahead and try to build something robust and something interesting where community leaders can come in, they can contribute, even if they want to go ahead and conduct any kind of workshops, they should find all the resources, right? So we came up with something called as get involved page, which basically we are trying to put as contribute.docker.com. So today, if you see, so this was kind of an announce last week in the Docker official blog, where we talked about, okay, so we call it as the Docker community site, but at the same time, it applies to the captains, community leaders, as well as other user group. So the whole idea of this particular page is like have a centralized place where you can go ahead, you can contribute, you can conduct all kind of workshops. And to conduct those workshops, right, we have in handbooks. So let me go through this particular site. So if you look at the get involved with Docker page, it basically talks about the 6 different sections, starting with the captains program. Then we have a community leaders, contribute code, community tools, events, and dev preview program. Now, this whole platform is hosted over GitHub, and it uses the Doxy tool, which is from Google. So it basically uses the Hugo tool where you can go ahead and edit on the fly. So you don't really have to learn how to code, right? So let me show you one example. So think of it as like, if we click on, say, the community leaders program today, okay? So this is something a kind of, a brief description about what is our program, what are the user groups, what are the benefits of joining this program. So we listed it out, and feel free to go ahead and contribute for this page, because still I would say there are a lot of things which we can go ahead and improve. What are the requirements? So one of the question which I usually get when I go ahead and conduct such kind of a meetups is how can I become a community leader, or how can I contribute to Docker, right? So this page has been defined in such a way that where people can come in, you will also find a page which talks about how to become a Docker community leader, as well as there is an Google form where you can either refer yourself, as well as you can nominate others also. And these are specifically the child pages which we have created, where we are trying to collect all the projects. So if you see, there are few of the projects, but I would love to see you raising a PR, and then contributing towards and adding your own projects, because this will give us an idea about how we can get involved with a project and then contribute towards it. The main section which I want to talk about is the duties. So whenever you get time, you can go through duties and responsibilities. One of the major time which we have, especially me and William, especially William has come up with a lot of ideas around it, is like an events handbook. So we are trying to build a kind of an event handbook. I would like to thank Sangam and Gaurav, who has really helped in contributing, few of the tutorials for especially for the Go developers as well as beginners. So there has been a kind of a community support and contribution coming up from each and everyone. And Zhang has, contributed Docker for .NET developers before we go ahead and announce this platform. So, so the whole idea of these workshops or the handbooks, especially handbook, is like we have tried to put it as a full day event kind of a stuff. So if you go to the agenda, you can see that right from starting from the morning till the evening, what are the things which you are going to follow, which you can use it for running the workshops. So you have all those recipes which are available which you can convert either as a half day or a full day event. So think of it as like if you want to conduct a kind of a workshop for a half day, you can pick up the first 3 or 4 topic and then conduct it. So still, I would say we have covered Kubernetes, Java, Golang. Sangam is working basically on Rust. He's contributing on top of it. We have intermediate as well as the advanced, which we are going to, make it ready. But this is a kind of a snapshot of where we are in terms of adding all those handbooks, and we do believe that it is going to be useful. Other than that, what we are trying to build is like in terms of community events. So we have all this information. So shortly we are going to also start with an office hours, as well as one of the things which we are working is a speakers directory, where you can go ahead and find the speakers. So during my conversation with around 10 to 15 community leaders till now, one of the common requirement is like they are not able to find the right speakers, right? So this is the page under the construction, where we are trying to see if we can go ahead and find all of those platforms where you can invite. It's a great opportunity to invite captains to go ahead and speak in one of the meetups. So this is just a brief around it. I would say, like, if you can spend some of the time and try to contribute, I think that would be really great. And me and William are here, and as well as and one more thing, if you really want to go ahead and contribute, the think of it is like, say if I want to make or suggest some kind of a changes in community leaders program, I can go ahead and say edit this page, and it redirects to the GitHub page, and all you have to do is make certain changes and raise a PR. And so it will land up to this page, and I am going to go ahead and few of the community leaders, we are going to go ahead and see how we can improve the overall stuff. So yes, so that's a brief about Docker community page.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ajit. Yeah, this is great. And as I said, this is a work in progress that's going to be evolving over time. And to Ajit's point, it is created for the community to be by the community, so anyone can edit it and continuously improve it. So with that, we have 8 minutes left. I thought this is the time for our so it's an opportunity for everyone to share thoughts or ask any questions.
I would say hello. I had no idea how to unmute myself. So about the speakers page, I was thinking, even I ran into that issue while I was looking for speakers, and at that point of time, I was neither a community leader, neither I was in communication with Ajit, and it was really difficult to find speakers for Kubernetes or Docker meetups in local, even at company events. But that page is really going to be really helpful. So yeah. Other than that, I had a few suggestions towards the code structure in the repository. So I'll be focusing primarily on that. I think it would be nice if you can do some shuffling around the structure so that it's easy for anyone to just pick up and contribute. Basically, the contributor experience. That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sure. Yep.
We'll look at this tomorrow too. But with Bevy, one of the things that we provide is a shared speaker database.
Oh.
So essentially, when you pick somebody as your presenter, you load them up, you got their profile picture, name, all the basic stuff that we have to do over email 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
That means the next organizer is going to have them available in the listing too. So what we don't do is we don't tie a presenter necessarily to their subject matter expertise or to the presentations that they can offer. But we do put them, all basically in a list to put them on your events page and make that a little bit simpler long term.
Yeah, one more question from point of event page. So is there any extension or Bevy has I can add to a Git pages? Because I need some kind of embedded link. I can take that link and I will copy that event link to the site, this new site. So it will show the event page, a kind of embedded link.
So we don't have an embed. We've got a permalink.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I can ask
because we need to once like event announced, I need to go and ahead and make a changes. Rather than making changes, if I have a fixed like kind of a template, I can just take that code, copy that code snippet and add it into the site, and then
Yeah.
automatically that will show upcoming events from the area. So that kind of we are thinking to add such with Fieldly, that is not possible now, but if there is you have some kind of extension, it will be really helpful.
Okay. And this is the goal is to embed the Bevy event page into your existing group website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think Sangam, you brought a great point here. So I was discussing with Rachel like last week. So one of the thing which I was thinking, because since we have a database of all our community leaders in the Bevy, so there are two ways. One way is either you use an API, you do an API call and then pull all the data and put it in the GitHub. The other way around would be, since Bevy holds the database, then most probably in a Bevy itself, we can come up with some kind of a customized page which list out all those speaker list. So
Really helpful if we have some kind of
customized page more.
card like profile from the
Yeah,
baby, so
correct.
we don't need to like collect those data. It will fetch from the baby directly and it will be displayed on the site. That will be really helpful to track the details and find the speaker as well.
Yep.
Okay. I have notes. So we're gonna do Bevy training start to finish. And part of that is I know y'all, or I'm getting to know y'all, and you're going to push me and the product team harder than any other community we work with. So keep all of this coming, and we'll keep writing them down. And I'm excited about that. I think that is the first time I have had somebody ask me for embeds because they're also managing their own group site. So for context, most of the communities I work with don't want to do that. So we're gonna keep adding for y'all.
Awesome.
Yep.
Is there
Very cool.
opportunity to save this meetings chat somehow?
Can we save the chat? The chat of, I mean, we have the recording of the meeting.
Yeah.
Do we also have the chat as well in the recording?
We can get it.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
thank you.
Awesome.
What I'll do is I'll pull. So I'm gonna take the recording. I'm gonna put it on the event page. I'll do the wrap up stuff, and then as part of that, I will provide all of the links in like on the event page, and I'll do the wrap up that way for you.
Great.
There is any option in your tool to remove the background, change the background? Because today if you see the events,
Yeah.
you are providing such a good platform and you are not providing the main stuff, so people not able to like edit. So it's good to have that such kind of new feature.
That is not the first time I've heard that question.
No, because
I believe Conf 42 also provides some kind of a template so that they have some kind of a frame that is popping up, and inside a circle you see your own face, and that's all people see. And on the green side, or where the most title is, you have your slides going on or the demos going on. That's how Conf 42 does it. If we can have something like this, it'd be super awesome. A list of demands, I see.
Cool. All right.
I think I have.
The next thing is to RSVP for tomorrow event. This is the next step.
Yes.
This is the next step.
Yes.
I think even before that next step, there are literally hundreds of people who aren't here today. So go buddy system, tag somebody and let everybody know that this is happening so we can fill this room up. I think that is going to be the hardest part. It's not going to be getting people excited or getting them here. It's going to be making sure that they know that this is happening. So please help us with that.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So let's also work the community leaders Slack channel. It has been, Carolee correctly pointed out a few weeks ago that it was, pretty quiet, and I 100% agree. Let's make it noisy again. So, yeah, with that, we're at time. I just want to thank everyone once again for joining our kickoff call. And we'll be sharing the recording and the chat very shortly. So. Thank you all, and onwards. This is going to be an exciting journey. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.